Hello my beauties, hello my darlings, my loves, welcome back to my channel. Let me know where you are tuning in from. If this is a continuation of money energetic series, there's part 1 of money energetics and part 2 already out there. You will find it in my playlist called Money. So I would strongly suggest that you go and watch these 2 parts before you come to this video. It's okay if you watch this video, stay with me, enjoy the journey with me, of course, darling. However, after watching this video, I would strongly recommend that you go and watch part 1 and part 2 of this series. All right. Now, for those of you beauties who have watched part 1 and part 2, welcome. Let me know in the comments. Give me a shout out. I would love to see who you are, who watched part 1, part 2, and who are here with me on part 3. All right. I would love to know who you are. So, we already know that money is not just a number in your bank account, right? Money is energy. And like everything that's energy, it falls in a spectrum. It has one end of the spectrum, which we spoke about, which is the hard energetics of money, the masculine side of money. And then we also spoke about this other end of the spectrum, which is the soft energetics of money or the feminine energetics of money. And we went through so many ideas and scenarios of how conscious women, soft-hearted, beautiful women who are in our feminine energy, who are in our feminine essence, who want to create a soft life for ourselves. We spoke about so many things on how we got to leverage ourselves and how to be smart and how we make sure that we stay in the feminine energetic side of the spectrum. So that's why, ladies, for those of you just tuning in, there is beautiful, amazing concepts that we discussed in part 1 and part 2. Make sure you go and check that out. All right. So now let's come to this video. All right. What we're going to do, darlings, in this video is we're going to bring all of those beautiful things that we spoke about, all right, about money, and we're going to bring all of that into the realm of relationships. And I'm going to divide it into 2 relationships for a single girl, all right, specifically, and relationship for married women later on. This video specifically, darling, it's for my single beauty who are dating with intention. All right, in my world, in this channel, we always date with intention. What does that mean? Dating with intention means dating towards marriage, dating towards a legal commitment. That is what we are about here. Okay. I do not propagate dating for the sake of dating because of for pure pleasure, dating because of you're lost and that's what you do. And trust me, I've been in all of these situations. All right, dating from desperation, dating because you're lonely, dating because you are not sovereign. You're not sovereign. All right, so I've been there, trust me. And okay, I don't want to digress. Okay, in my channel, we date with the pure intention, the beautiful, all right, the divine desire of wanting marriage. It's a beautiful desire. It's a wonderful desire. And do not let the world manipulate that out of you, darlings. Okay, do not. If that desire is true and real for you, it's from God. It's divinity itself. Hold on to it. And you learn to manifest it into your life through channels like this, okay? I wish I had this content when I was a single chica out there, all right? For those of you who know me, I come from a lot of trauma, like all of us, okay? A lot of trauma, a lot of toxicity, a lot of unhealthy templates from my childhood. But throughout it all, I knew in my heart, after a certain point in my life, that I truly desired marriage, okay? Long-term commitment that I can build with, I can grow with. So yes, this video specifically is for you, darlings. All right, so you are a beautiful chica tuning in. For whatever reasons this video has come across your feed, I'm not gonna be politically correct here, okay? We have our own beliefs here, and I'm not going to try and be politically correct, okay? It might trigger some of you, and that's okay. That's totally okay, okay? This sort of a conscious choice, this sort of desire to want to live in your feminine essence for the long run, to create a soft life for yourself, need not be every woman's desire, okay? So this channel is for those of you who have that desire and who want to manifest it into your life, all right? So, ladies, story time. When Auntie Alejandra, okay, I'm 49 years old, ladies. I've been there, done that. Trust me. I've created one of the most painful first marriages in my life, but I am grateful for it because that was when slowly I turned the ship around and realized and learned a lot of things in life. And now, thankfully, with God's graces, I enjoy the financial abundance that my husband and I, right? Just it's a blessing for us. And these things also I would not have been able to choose into or create if I did not know these wisdoms that I'm going to share with you, all right? If I had not dated with discernment, if I had not dated with intention towards marriage, and if I had not dated consciously to look deeply into the financial life of the people that I was choosing to date, right? If I had not taken these kind of a man's financial health seriously, if I had not taken his financial energy, his financial frequency, his financial capabilities, all right, seriously, I would not be enjoying this life today. And today, ladies, my husband and I, we enjoy a multi-million dollar partnership, all right, which gives us so much more. I'm not saying life is just about money, no, but money does give us options in life, all right? It does give a lot of adventures that you can have. Money does, especially for somebody like me who has a core wounding around money in terms of insecurities around all of that. It does give souls like us a lot of safety, a lot of security. Okay, so money has a place in your marriage. Trust me, it has a place in your relationships. Don't ever let anyone con you into thinking that it doesn't, all right? Many marriages break down, including my first marriage broke down because one of the primary reasons that marriages break down, it's been proven out there, is financial reasons. So like, duh, right? So, yes, as a single girl, all right, I had bought into a lot of negative programming out there, negative ideologies out there that women buy into and tie themselves up with, all right? I remember that I used to think that good girls, and yes, right, women, all of us want to be a good girl. Good girls do not look for money in a man. That was one of the negative programming that I had conditioned myself into. Because I come from trauma, I come from bad templates when it came to relationships, okay, with men. So I just like bought into these ideologies out there, and I did not have an Auntie Alejandra, right, who was like politically incorrect to tell me the truths that I'm going to share here. So that was one of the wrong programming I had brought into. I had brought into the programming that, oh yeah, I don't need to look at money in a man. I don't need money in a man. I just need a man, and I can build him up. Okay, I can do everything. I'm a strong woman. I'm an independent woman. I don't need a man. I can just build him up. Okay, that was something I brought into this whole I don't need a man's money narrative out there, right? There is a truth to it. You should not be desperately needing a man's money for your survival. Remember, we are sovereign, feminine, grail queens ourselves. So yes, go watch part 1 and part 2 to dive into all of those things, right? So we don't have to desperately need a man's money for your basic survival, right? Those times are gone. No way, darlings. But you gotta need a man's money, all right? Energetically, that's the energetic symmetry of a dance between the masculine and a feminine. But I was conditioned into thinking that, nope, you should not be even needing a man's money, right? Wrong, bad. So another thing that I was programmed into was to positively, through rose-tinted glasses, only look at the positives of a man and his potential of becoming that entrepreneur, or becoming that CEO, or becoming that man who can provide successful out there in the world. So I was programmed into believing the potential of a man, like almost like a mommy believes in the potential of her son. Like, no way, that's not not holy grail wife or empress frequency at all, ladies, right? So all these were some of the negative, totally false propaganda ideologies that I had bought into, which led me to choose into so many situationships and my first marriage even, which led me down a hard life where I had to lean in and step into my masculine energy to feel safe and secure around money for myself, my relationship, my family, my legacy, and everything. Okay, so it was hard. So, ladies, what am I trying to tell you here through my own story, my darlings? When you are dating a man for marriage, right, it is not just wise, my darling. It is essential. It is crucial. Okay, it is super important to look deeply into his financial life, look deeply into his financial health, all right, and what he has realistically created in his life already. So we're going to talk about all of these things. So this is not about being materialistic, okay? This is not about judging this man's entire worth by just his wallet. No, this is about a higher octave of what I call discernment, all right? This is about protecting your heart. This is about protecting your feminine essence. This is about protecting your soft life, your future children, all right? Your legacy. This is about even protecting your own money, okay? This is about consciously choosing, intentionally choosing only into a dynamic that will allow you to stay in your feminine essence and create a soft life in the long run, darling, in the long run, into your 30s, into your 40s, into your 50s, 60s and beyond. All right, this is that important. Right? And if you don't do this, if you're not going to take notes and listen seriously, all right, for contents like this, all right, which is not going to be politically correct, okay, which is going to speak some truths, okay, so tune in now, like tune in and listen from your heart, not from your brainwashed into different ideologies brain. Listen from your heart to me, darlings, all right? Slow down, breathe, settle in and listen from your heart to this. And after that, if it doesn't make sense, move on. Nothing wrong with that, right? So if you do not listen to content like this from your heart and take it in, okay, what there is a consequence to everything. I'm not fear-mongering here, but this will just lead you into a hard life, which we spoke about in part 1 and part 2 of this video, okay? It will just lead you into hardening yourself, because you won't have a choice but to lean in, step into your masculine energies in your own financial security and safety, for the financial security and safety of the marriage, for your children. You won't have a choice but to harden into your masculine energies, and that's a really sad state of affairs. Okay, I'm totally fine with women doing all of those things. Trust me. Okay, I have a very strong masculine energies in me too, and I run so many projects, all right? If you're with me, you know, like I have a commercial real estate, like multi-million-dollar commercial real estate venture that I do. I do this for fun, for free, all right? I handle my, our financial portfolio. So there's so many things I do. I have my own masculine energies, ladies. Don't get me wrong here, okay? But I still find it really, I wouldn't want it for any girl out there to do. See, I have no problems you doing all of these things, all right, working hard for money and everything, as long as it's an option, okay? But I don't want women who are in their 40s and 50s and 60s, it's a really sad state of affairs, who have to harden into their masculine and working for money at that age, okay? Because no one taught her this. No one told her this. These brutal facts of life, okay? Or for whatever reason, she chose into believing all of these nonsense that's out there, okay? So if you want to stay in your feminine essence in the long run, okay, if you want to create a soft life for yourself, you have, while you are dating, while you are a single lady, right, you have to, with discernment and wisdom, look into a man's financial realities and and because that will reveal so much about that man. So that is why I say it's not about the money, okay? It's about the man. Okay? See, let me put it simply. A man who is out there, who is not taking care of his health, okay, let's say who has a lot of life-threatening issues, what does it show about that man? It shows that he does not have a deep understanding about health, about nutrition, and probably he comes from a lot of trauma around these things, or he just doesn't know it, he doesn't prioritize it, he doesn't understand it. Okay, he's into unhealthy lifestyle, unhealthy foods. He doesn't hold certain disciplines in taking care of his own health, all right, his own body. That's what it reveals to you about a man. The same way, a man's lack of health around money, higher frequencies around money, reveals to you, darling, so many things about that man. It shows to you, let's start, all right? It shows to you his level of masculine purpose itself, all right? Because one of the basic fundamental principles of masculine principle itself is to build, okay? It's a tool that needs to build. And when a tool can build well, automatically money will be falling into it. Okay, so it to start with, his financial health or lack thereof will show you the quality of his masculine principle that's running through his field. Okay, it will show you whether he has disciplines or not. All right, things like if he's educated. Okay, it's not checking a man's degree for the sake of degree. No. Okay, the final frequency that you have to check is his disciplines. Is he a disciplined soul? Okay, you cannot do anything in this life, build, create, or enjoy this life without disciplines. So the fact that if he, the fruits of this principle of discipline is called education. If he has completed an education, a degree, whatever degree it might be, right? Bachelor's degree, the high school education, bachelor's degree, master's degree, it shows his level of discipline, because those things cannot be done without discipline. So don't take it as a superficial, just the fruit, I'm being superficial there. No, the fruit can be borne by a tree that has the branches, that has the leaves, that has the trunk, that has the roots. Okay, only that tree can bear those fruits. So this is not about being materialistic or a gold digger, darling. His financial health, him having manifested money, safety, security, and health around all of those things, shows his level of masculine purpose in this life itself. It shows you his capacity for discipline, his resources or lack thereof, his intelligence or lack thereof, his smartness, the lack thereof. It shows whether okay, go back into my video list, and I would strongly recommend another video on the energetic hierarchy of masculine energy. So right, it has two categories, the lower octave and the higher octave. And in the lower octave, I deeply dive into the boy energetics of masculine energy and the man energetics of masculine energy, which can be very tricky, right? So these things, these fruits, okay, money or lack thereof, shows whether he falls under the lower octave or the divine top two categories of masculine energy hierarchy, which is the king coded, husbandry coded king himself, or the emperor himself. All right, that's the divine masculine higher octaves of masculine energy. Go and watch the hierarchy of masculine energies. All right, so this fruit that we are discerning, money, does he have it or not? All right, shows you whether he's in the boy man energy or is in the king or emperor energy. Just like that, it's an easy litmus test for you while you are dating, darling. All right, so see these men, and I'm not judging them or blaming, right? This is discernment. Men who are in the lower octave of the masculine energetic frequencies, the aka boy man, they are consumers. Their instincts are predatorial, right? They need you to become their mommy or daddy or siphon stuff from you. They can't help it. That is the stage they are in. Okay, so they'll be consuming from the world. They will not build and create and put it out into the world to help themselves, help their family, help humanity. No, they'll be consuming it. All right? They'll be taking. They'll be predatorial by nature, not providership by nature. So, and that's okay, because there is a stage where boys need to be a boy. Okay, they need to consume from their mother, their father, all right, from the systems that's already been established towards building themselves up. So then I think there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so these things show you whether he's still in his boy energies, right? If he's consuming, right? Is he seeking pleasure without taking responsibility? So, or it will show you whether he has stepped into, like I mentioned, right, the king energies, right, which is the basic of divine masculine energies. Or has he really, that's special, all right, that's quite rare out there. Has he really stepped into his emperor energy, all right? All these things will show you, darling, all right? Has he built anything? Is he able to take responsibility for the kingdom that he's built? Now, there is this question that you might ask yourself at this time, Eliandra, like, you know, I'm in my 20s, and this guy, one of my suitors, or husband, all right, he is in his 20s too, and he is just building his life. So all of those situations I understand, okay? If you're a 20-year-old girl and you're dating another 20-year-old boy, he will be in his boy energies, all right? He's not had time to come into his kingship or his emperorship, of course, duh, all right? So, of course, I understand that. However, there will be signs. There will be signs if this soul, who is right now operating in his boy or man energies, has the potential of reaching king or emperor frequencies, all right? There will be signs. For example, check out his masculine lineage, his dad, his grandfather, the uncles, all right? Check out his friend circle. What quality are there? What type of things are they talking about? Are they talking about women and how to get into their pants, or, you know, how to be a consumer predator? Or are they talking about building, providing, creating, putting things out into the world? Okay, so check out these things. If you are dating someone who's in his 20s, check to see if he has some plans for his life and he's taking action on those plans. Action speaks louder than words of great grandiose plans. Okay, so look into all of those things. Check out his past, like what disciplines has he shown in his past, or is he riding on his dad's disciplines or great grandfather's disciplines, or he's bumming off credibility of someone else around him, right? He's predatorial and he's showing off from that space, or he's really putting things out into the world and he's peacocking to you from that stage. That is discernment, ladies, all right? His education. Super important. That will show you his disciplines, all right, and his capabilities in the world. Has he done some side hustles, right? Has he done this? Is he being ambitious? Is he being driven, or he's just following you around in the dating phase? Okay, does he have, like, he's coming on a date with you, but he's busy, right? He already has a job, he has ambitions in the job and plans on how to, and he's putting it into action, all right? Studying part-time, he's reading books, okay, he's going to the gym, not just to peacock his biceps, but for health reasons, because he's intelligent about all of these things. All right, there are signs that will show, which will differentiate a boy from a man, from a king or an emperor. All right, trust me, a king or an emperor, and I have two boys myself, all right, two stepsons, and you will see the signs of it even when they are young. Okay, even when they are young, you will see it. Okay, it is already there. So please choose into seeds that can only grow into trees that can bear fruits, darling. Okay. Another thing is date older. If you're a chica in your 20s, see, there is a fun aspect that will come with dating someone your own age, but there are consequences to it, okay? You will have to build with him through his 20s, but make sure you're discerning and and don't choose into a 20-year-old guy who does not have the what it takes to become a king or an emperor, right? That's on you, girl. Right? So there is a fun aspect to it, but there is a hard aspect to it also. You have to build with him, okay, in his 20s. And there is a chance that he might not make it also. He might just remain in the low category, right? So that's a gamble. So that is why in my channel, I definitely, if someone was to say, like, give me a cheat code, okay, on how to live a soft life, my cheat code would be date older, all right? Date someone who's in his, even if you're 20, date someone who's in his early 30s or mid 30s, because back at that stage, you should be clearly be able to see with proof the quality of his masculine purpose in this world. You will see the fruits of his labor, all right? He would be in a certain he would be getting certain amount of salary, certain position in his company, or building this business, moving in certain circles. He would have gotten himself a bike, a car, down payment on a home, already paid off home, have his plans and working on it. So basically the fruits will be visible. Okay, you will be able to see the flowers when a man is in his 30s. So that is why if somebody were to ask me a cheat code while you are single and dating, I'd be like, open up. If you're in your 20s, open yourself up to men in their early 30s or mid 30s. Okay, and above, that's up to you. Okay, I would, my opinion is, I know there are ideologies out there where women are asking women to date men who are like 20, 30, 40 years elder to them. And I'm like, that's, of course, it's totally fine for those of you beauties out there for whom it's truly, you feel that attraction for someone like that. But I would say something like that, there might be daddy issues, all right? Some shadows working behind if you are choosing somebody like that. I'm not judging it, but I would check you on it. And there are consequences to everything, ladies, all right? Dating a man 20, 30, 40 years ahead of you, I've been there, okay? It will mean that you might become a widow at a young age, okay? It might mean you having to take care of this person in your prime, okay? Because that might be his decline, health-wise and everything. It's nature, right? So there are consequences to these things. So there's nothing right or wrong here. All I want you to do is get centered, get sovereign, and get conscious and choose consciously. Okay? If you're a 20-year-old choosing into a 20-year-old guy, know that there will be a building phase and that guy can make it or not make it. The ideal in between, if you're a 20-year-old chica, single, dating, and you're tuning into this content, is date somebody in their early 30s, mid 30s, because the fruits would be visible, the flowers will be seen, and some fruits will be like young, not ripe, but young. But if you're going for you want a ripe fruit, then go for much elder gentlemen, depending on your age. Too much elder I would not recommend, because that's again on the other side of the spectrum, right? I'm against all of these polarized end of the spectrum. If you're going there, know that there are consequences as well. So there are consequences if you're just dating your own age, or just someone in your age group, okay? What I'm propagating, what I'm suggesting is somewhere in between, all right? Say like 7 years, 5 years, 7 years, you're senior, 10 years, you're senior, that's good enough. But beyond that, there are going to be consequences as well, okay? But then again, there's never going to be one cookie cutter right model for every girl, all right? All I'm strongly suggesting is take these things seriously and know yourself, know thyself. Maybe you're in this group, that's totally fine. So forget, like, F off whatever I'm recommending and go for that, all right? With consciousness, with sovereignty, nothing wrong with that. And no, it's probably coming, own it, it's probably coming from some shadow daddy issues, and that's totally fine. Maybe you can heal all of those wounds through that relationship, right? And all of those things. So this is what I'm talking about, ladies. Money will clearly show the level in which this guy is in his masculine energetics. Is he in the boy mode? Is he in the man mode? Is he in the king mode, or the emperor himself, right? Because energy never lies, okay? What he might say might not be the truth, but energies, all right, never lie. So the lower octave of the spectrum, right? When you're single, how does it show energetically? Like he might be very restless. Okay, there will not be that grounding in him. Okay, he might be like a very like an avoidance. Okay, so there might be like restlessness or avoidance in this person, or like there might be like power struggles or addictions around these I'm talking financial health now, and how energetically you can find out, right? Sense if he's stuck financially in the boy end of the spectrum or the man energy end of the spectrum, which is all survival mode, okay, or the thriving mode, like the king or the emperor's side, or he has the seeds of all of those things. How do you energetically discern all this? All right, souls who are in this side of the spectrum, there'll be like a restlessness about them. Okay, so you got to discern if this restlessness is constructive, positive, and he's action taking towards building something if he's in his 20s, or it's just he's bored and he's restless, he wants to go from one consumption, one addiction to the other, right? Or he's avoiding it, right? Avoiding conversations about future, big red flag. Okay, avoiding conversations about money, big red flag, right? Or are there like power struggles, like in your dating stage, like simple signs, like as soon as the bill comes, is he leaning into his masculine energies to provide for you in that moment, take up the bill and pay for both of you, or is he leaned back in his boy energies and there is avoidance that's coming up, and he's actively wanting to go 50-50 on the date with you? All right, these things show you if he is in survival mode or is he in his provision mode. Okay, and there are like tricky people, that's what I call the man, all right, who they're like tricksters. So they might actually like they might actually be drawn to providing for you, but then they see some weird content online, and they will test you and see if you're going to pick the check and those things. So these are the trickster men, all right? All that comes from trauma. So know it, consciously know if somebody is playing those games energetically, there is trauma there is hurt there is pain there, all right? There is insecurities there when it comes to providing for the feminine. Know these things consciously, ladies. So right, so these are some signs you will see. Generosity, it's so important. Generosity. See, it is like a man might have an empire financially, all right? But then if he's not generous with you, if he's not going to open the gates to his queen, and he sees you as his queen, yes? You want to see him yourself as his queen. If he's not going to open the floodgates to you with his generosity in sharing his finances together as a unit, as a couple for life, what is the point? Okay, so that is why, right, even when we talk about the king-coded guy or the emperor-coded guy, there are like fraudsters who might have all this on paper, but who really don't have that grounding of those energetics. So generosity is important, ladies, okay? Then again, all right, don't become this gold digger kind of person, okay? This channel, this world is not for that, okay? But when you are in your holy grail woman, all right, when you are the counterpart of the king-coded guy, the emperor-coded guy himself, when you are in your queen energetics, when you're in your empress energetics, if this guy is going to play some weird games, you're going to feel it, okay? Like I remember when I was single, right, there was this very sweet person who asked me out on a date, and I went out for a coffee date with him, and towards the end, I could sense that when the check came, he became nervous and everything. So, and I asked him, hey, do you want me to pay the bill? And he accepted it. He leaned back and accepted it. And I was like, okay, fine. And I paid the bill. But then when I went back home and I checked in with myself, I liked the guy, but as a friend. Okay. My feminine essence did not feel safe enough with this soul that I didn't sense that strength in him to lean on him. Right. And he was desperately reaching out to me for the second date, and he was like really chasing me after that, but I just lost it. I just lost my interest. I mean, I liked him as a friend. I could feel like my tone, my texts, and like my interests, because I was dating with intention. So I had already my interest towards him had disappeared, and I unconsciously I just slotted him into friend, a nice guy who's a friend in my life. I'm never going to consider him as a life partner for myself, right? So so beyond all this is what I talk about, energetically check-in, right? I'm not going to be this kind of girl who if a guy says let's go 50-50, you fight with him and argue with him, and you be like, you're not a man, you're not a good guy, I'm never treated like this, la-di-da. No, all right? When you're going to see, we live in a complicated world today, so that's why I talk about sovereignty in your financial life. When go and watch part 1 and part 2, ladies. All right. So hopefully when you're going out on a date, hopefully you're in a situation where you can take up the whole bill. All right. Because you don't know what's sitting in front of you. Or you can pay 50-50. But if you're in a weird situation like that, check in to see how do you feel during that moment when this guy is asking you to do that. All right? Don't get into some propaganda ideology. Check in, breathe, be still, get into your body, all right? Get into your heart, feel in to see how do you feel that moment later on, the next day, 1 week afterwards, that situation. How do you feel afterwards? How do you feel right then with the man? Is your attraction towards him increasing? All right? Is that polarity increasing? Or you feel sorry for him? Or do you feel like I used to, right? If a guy I chose to date couldn't take up the bill, like I just felt like he was my friend. Okay, nice guy, no judgments, but I can't go on a second date with you, dude, right? You're my friend now. I like you, you're a friend, we can go hang. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can call him, come along, one in the, just hang with my girls, hang with my people, no problem. But second date, nope. Right? That's how I used to feel. So check in with your body, check in with your heart to see how you feel, ladies. And remember, right? You don't have to chase the guy and tell him, oh my God, you didn't pick up my bill. Oh my God, who are you? All that is chasing energy, right? Arguing, fighting with him. No, you can choose. You can choose not to go on that second date. Right? This is how you choose consciously into a soft life. All right? Remember, in my world, in this channel, right? And if you're tuned in, subscribed, and you're liking this video, darling, we never chase, but you choose, right? You can choose not to go on that second date with him, right? And you can choose to check in to see what you really feel in your heart and your body when you're faced with some weird situations like this. Okay? So energy speaks. So look into the generosity of a man, right? How is he tipping? How is he talking about people who are lesser than him, right? Is he being generous and kind towards them? Is he being generous with you, right? Is he avoiding? See, men who are in the boy and man, tricky man energies, right? There'll be a lot of avoidance about money. There'll be like a lot of restlessness, like lower octave restlessness about money. There will be addictions with money, maybe gambling, or him, having done like crazy stories about money, or crazy principles when it comes to money, like stories around like how he plans on in his dream life, right? Like predatorially taking money from a system, from a company, from women, or from the society, like predator vibes, predatorial plans, or build a high masculine energy vibes. All right. So these are things that you got to be discerning about, darling. All right. And there will be a lot of struggles, all right? Men who are in their boy energies and tricky man energies around money, when he's single trying to date you, there'll be a lot of struggles around money, okay? So maybe like coming to see you, okay? Maybe he has to drive a long distance, and the effort or the money that it takes to do all of that, taking you to a nice cafe or a restaurant that you are used to in your natural lifestyle, all right? If there is some struggle against all of that. So you will see all of these things. So if someone were to ask me right now, like, give me a cheat code, right? All these energies are fine, but I need a cheat code. I already gave you one cheat code, date older. Okay, what I would say, Auntie Alejandra will say from this open platform. Of course, everything is nuanced, every situation is different, but in this open platform, I would say something like date 7 years or 10 years older, yeah? So, That is one cheat code. Another cheat code is he being generous? Is he taking your bills? Is he driving to come and see you? If he's offering to pick you up and drop you, there is like no struggles around money. Okay, that is another cheat code. He will at that dating stage, he can never allow you to even like open your bag, like open your wallet, right? So that is another cheat code on how you can figure things out. Like there is no struggle, there's no avoidance around that. He will offer, like especially if he's this and he's already accomplished a lot of things, he will offer. You don't have to say anything. He will offer information. All you need to do is listen. Be in your feminine and listen, right? He will offer information on his position in his company. He will offer information about his salary. He will offer information about taking you into his house, all right, to show you his house. He will offer information if he's paid off the house or it's loan. So all of these things, there won't be any avoidance with all of these things, okay? So these are all signs that you can come to know if he's in the builder mode, if he has the potential of a builder, or is he like in struggle mode, okay? Or trickster mode around these things. Trickster is basically trauma, okay? So these patterns, right? You will be able to pick it up. I shared some patterns with you, but there are many. See that the consequences, if you're not discerning about all of these things while you're single, ladies, these patterns will eventually, it'll pull you into over functioning, right? And like I mentioned, it's the worst thing for a woman, especially in her later ages, in her 40s, 50s, if she has to like wear the pants in the house financially, she has to heavy lift, make the money, all of those things financially. It's like if she's doing as choice, as her own sense of pleasure, then that's fine. But she shouldn't be forced into it. Like she should not. Like that's the only choice for her to survive in this world, right? So watch all these patterns, ladies, because I don't want you to be leaned into your masculine energies, all right? Especially in your the second half of your life. So that's the worst thing, right? You'll have to stay in survival mode. Like you have to stay vigilant. You have to like overfunction. You have to like carry the heavy lifting, and you have to clock in without a choice, right? It's not like something you want to do. It's a choice. It's like if you don't work, you don't have food on the table. That will be your situation. If you don't work, if you don't show up every day, if you don't carry the heavy lifting, then there is no safety or security around money in the second half of your life or throughout your life, right? So over time, the lack of such discernment, of such wisdom, ladies, it will cost you your softness. It will cost you your feminine essence. For some women, it will even cost them their health, okay? Because overwork, carrying all the heavy lifting in after marriage financially throughout the rest of your life equals cortisol, equals health issues, okay, for us feminine bodied women with our hormones and our nervous system and whatnot. So it will cost you your femininity, ladies. So, but on the other side, right, when a man has positioned himself and his life well with health, with healthy frequencies around finances, okay, like I mentioned, you will see the fruits of it through his education, his actions, what he's doing, right? It will show you his discipline. It will show you the quality of his masculine principle itself that's running through him, right? Is he able to get a job? Is he able to hold that job for the long term? All right. Does he know about building assets? Is finances important to him? Like, does he want to build finances, or he wants to predatorial around finances? All right. Is he financially leveraged? What is the quality of financial health with his father, with his friends, right? In his family and all. These are important things, ladies. So when you are dating the right guy, okay, it's easy. It's just so easy. There won't be any confusions. There won't be any battles inside of you when it comes to money and dating, okay, when you're dating the right guy. Because at an energetic level, right, this good seed, he knows, he understands provision as clear direction, as one of his divine masculine purpose in this life, okay? To build, to provide, to protect, not to control or dominate, okay? That's to, he will know it energetically. So, excuse me. So, how you might feel it, right, in your heart, how you would feel it is, his provisions financially, right, will become like a very quiet but powerful signal that says, like, I've got you, right? You can trust me. We are a unit. You can trust me. I got you. You can relax now. That's what he will want out of providing financially for you in the dating stage. So you've got to be able to feel that one way or the other before you finally decide on this, on marrying this person, all right? Financially, you got to feel like you are a unit, like you can relax when he's around. Financially, you can relax. He's got it, all right? He can take care of you. You feel financially safe in his presence while you're dating. You feel financially secure in his presence while you are dating. You feel like you can relax, all right? All of these things are signs, ladies, that he's got it, okay? And this is what I want for every girl out there. This is what I want for you, darling, all right? Not utter financial dependency, no. Go watch part 1 and part 2. We discuss all of these things there. No, this is not gold digging, all right? This is energetic symmetry between the masculine and feminine in the long run. And before we go any further, right, I want to talk about 3 scenarios, and I'm not going to be politically correct. So if you're easily triggered, this is your time to leave, okay? And yes, this is going to be a long video, and I'm fine with that because women need to hear this. So I'm going to take my time, and sometimes I'm in my alpha mode and my communication might be clear and direct. Sometimes I might be in my spiritual mode when I'll be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Sometimes I might be in my feminine mode and I might be all over the place, but then there are codes within it, all right? And today I'm in the 3rd mode. I'm in my feminine mode. So it's going to be a long video. I have pre-warned you, and I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm going to share the truth as my truth and what's worked for me and what's not worked for me. Like I mentioned, I'm 49 years old, darling, and I've been there, okay? I've done that. I've walked through the my own personal wounds of a core mistrust around masculine provision, all right? Like I shared a little bit with my first marriage, all right? I was utterly in my survival mode in that marriage, okay? And today I've created a life, I've manifested a life where I enjoy the highs of a multi-millionaire partnership with my husband, okay? So when I say I've been there and done that, I've been there and done that, darling. So stay with me here. So what we're going to talk about is 3 ways. If you're a single chica, you'll fall under these 3 categories, all right? Either you're dating someone on a lower frequency than you financially, or you're dating someone who you're matched with, okay, in terms of financial health, financial frequency, or you're dating someone who is much ahead of you with these things. So I'm going to divide it into 3 categories, and we're going to dive deep into each of these categories, okay? Interesting, exciting? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, you're 1, 2, or 3, all right? You're dating someone who's in a lower frequency than you financially, or you're dating someone equally yoked, or you're dating someone much, much higher than you in this realm, okay? Let me know in the comments, 1, 2, or 3, okay? So the future videos, I can cater it more specifically. So, see, these are the kind of information I would honestly share with my own daughter, okay? So, and this is the kind of information I knew. I wish someone told me as an auntie or a mother or a dear friend when I was single and dating. So because the world is distorted, ladies, out there, okay, all these ideologies. I don't need a man for anything. I don't even need a man. I don't want to get married. I don't need a man for anything. I don't need a man's money. All of these things. It has its place in its sun. It has its right to exist. But check in to see if you've tuned into all of these ideologies. Check in to see if they've really worked for you. They didn't work for me. Okay. The world has a lot of distorted ideas. We live in the Aquarian era, duh. So all of them have their place in the sun. I don't need a man for anything ideologies. I'm going to come out of all that, right? I'm here to cut straight through the noise with all that stuff. And I'm going to talk about stuff which actually sustains polarity in the long run, okay? Which actually sustains intimacy. So, which will actually, in the long run, help you grow into and maintain the frequency of the Holy Grail woman herself, okay? If you're in my world, you know what I'm talking about, all right? Help you grow and become the frequency holder herself. And for you to ascend and be her, maintain her frequency or become her, you need to have a certain polarity in your marriage, okay, in your relationship. So I don't want to sugarcoat. I want to tell you the truth, okay? So yes, I might trigger some of you, so I've pre-warned you. Let's go there, okay? 3 most common financial scenarios if you're a single beauty dating that you might encounter, right? When you're intentionally dating for marriage. These things will show up again and again. We're talking about real situations, real women's lives, okay? And each of these categories, they would carry their own energetic flavor, right? They have their own energetic flavor, and they will have different risks to your femininity, your polarity, and your long-term financial safety, darling. All right? Let's talk about the first scenario now. You are dating down financially. So that's the category we're going to talk about now. This means you currently earn more, have more assets, more financial stability, or more soft money streams than he does. In this dynamic, all right, in this category, the risk is very real and very common. Okay, you would have heard about these stories out there online. The reason why you are pulled into these things are probably because you don't have the right support structure. Your family, friends, your community is not helping you intentionally date. Okay, so the right structure is not there. If you are in something like this already, or you are, for whatever reasons, you are choosing to date somebody like this, maybe it's the reasons why you are pulled into a scenario category like this is probably unconscious. Maybe some shadow aspects of you are in charge and driving the vehicle now, the dating vehicle now, all right? Which is basically putting you in the provider role, which is basically putting you in the masculine energetic role in this partnership, okay? Your unconscious, the 2 reasons why you're in this situation, you're choosing into this category is because there are some shadows, you're unconscious about it, okay? Because it is, trust me ladies, it is putting you into the provider role. You'll be managing, you'll be teaching, you'll be handling, you'll be making all the money, okay? And you'll be like providing for him energetically, mentally, resource-wise, contacts-wise. You'll be providing your ideas. You'll be providing him. You'll be managing his business, building his business. You'll be like doing everything, okay? You'll be like his manager, mommy, therapist, everything. You will be the man. So if something is pulling you into this category, there are shadows, unconscious shadows playing, or you don't have the right support structure that's looking into all of these things for you, okay? So I'm glad you're here. Pat yourself on the back, okay? And give yourself a hug, give yourself some love, give yourself some grace, give yourself some presence, and hold yourself through this, okay? Because I used to be you. So there is hope for us. Right. See, if you're attracted to something like this, your nervous system, your body has already started or will start anticipating carrying the majority of the financial weight. Okay? You will start to feel, or you already feel, the subtle, sometimes not so subtle, pressure to overfunction in the relationship while you're with the man, while you're away from the man. Okay? While you're in his presence, after the date, all right? In between dates. You feel this pressure to overfunction. How might that look if you ask me? You might be initiating all the plans for the date, the future. You might be initiating the future talks of the relationship. You might be paying 50-50 or pay for the entire date, right? You might have to rescue him from moments where financial safety, security, and stability needs to show up. In those moments, you might be rescuing the man to make sure everything is covered for yourself and for him. So, over time, this pattern, right, will start training your nervous system to stay in the masculine coded effort mode. Okay, your softness will begin to erode. Your receiving channels will start closing down. There'll be like a lot of blocks in your flow, right, in your feminine flow. The polarity will start fading because the masculine, right, has no clear direction. So that attraction will start fading. That respect, I'm talking like primal attraction, right? The primal attraction will start fading, which might lead to sexual attractions fading, right? The respect for you, for that person, might start fading, right? Because there's no clear container, there's no clear direction for you to relax into. He might say, I'm not like, don't mistake me, right? He might be wonderful in every other way, darling, right? He might be a kind soul, okay? He might be a spiritual soul, all right? He might be emotionally available. This is the tricky thing, okay? He might be emotionally available. Especially if you've been operating primarily on your masculine energy so far, and your survival mode so far for whatever reasons, coming across an emotionally available spiritual guy is like, woof, okay? Because he's mirroring stuff that you've put under the carpet, like your own feminine energies, your own emotional availability to yourself, your own spiritual connection. All of these things you had to stuff under the carpet towards being a masculine provider for yourself. So all those things under the carpet that's been on the shadow, if this guy is spiritual or emotionally available, that is like a huge, right? But, so he might be wonderful, so emotionally available, like he can spend all of his time with you from morning till night, every day, for months. He can frolic, fun, because he has nothing else going for him, right? So he can be fully available for you. Might have these spiritual talks, these deep, deep, deep spiritual conversations. Might be a kind soul. So there might be like beautiful, wonderful things in so many other ways. But if provision, right, fundamental, basic provision is not flowing from him in a meaningful way, the energetic dance, the energetic symmetry will get distorted. Maybe it's already distorted, or get distorted in time. Okay? You will end up mothering him. All right? You might have to end up mothering his entire family. You might have to financially take care of him, your children, his entire family, his community, what not. Okay? And darling, no woman thrives long term in her feminine essence when she's mothering her man. Okay? So, this is usually not a sustainable path for a holy grail woman who wants to play, who wants to stay in her soft, receptive energies and stay in her feminine essence and play that game in life. Okay? So, in my channel, this is a big no. If it triggers you, I've said it. It's a big no. Do not choose this guy. Okay? Maybe there are a minority scenario where this will be okay when you have fuck you money. Go back and listen to part 1, part 2 of this video series, all right? Small minority of situations where this is okay, you can, with discernment, choose into this, okay? Provided you have fuck you money. If you want to know what that is, go watch part 1 and part 2. Or you have so much trauma, all right, around masculine energy, masculine provisions, way too much betrayal trauma around all of this. Or let's talk astrology here. If you have Rahu in your 10th house, okay, and it doesn't have good aspects, okay, or something like if you've incarnated to sacrifice yourself, you know, like 12th house stuff, like if you've incarnated to like totally sacrifice yourself for a man and his well-being, then this category is okay. But in my world, I've warned you, trigger warning. This is not what we are about here, chicas. Let me know in the comments. Okay, this is not what we are about. We can have empathy, compassion, and all of that for those of you who are choosing into all of that, but it's not for us. Okay. So second scenario. This is the tricky one. Okay. Second scenario is where you are dating an equal financial frequency. Now, probably it plays out in terms of you're earning roughly around the same amount of money. Okay, your lifestyles match. Okay, I want to digress here a bit. I remember having this conversation with someone, all right? And she was asking me, like, who do I choose money-wise, all right? What do I prioritize? Sorry, that was the question. What do I prioritize when checking out a guy's finances while I'm dating him? Okay? Yes, it's definitely among the top 3, but it's not the top. Okay? The top 1 is his character, principles, his heart, his love. Okay? Like, I'm talking higher frequency stuff. His love for you, his character, his principles. All right? Those are the things that matter ultimately. Like, what do I mean? Like, I'd rather a girl choose a guy who is 10 on 10 in character, morals, principles, and love for her and all of that over a multi-billionaire without all those things. Okay? My girls, I'd rather you have somebody like this with average money than somebody with and a couple of empires that he's built and no love for her and no. That's okay. That can have its right to exist in this world, but I would not. This channel is not for those of you. Okay. This channel is for women who want that emotional intimacy, who want that that unity and intimacy and emotional connection and all of those things. So not just money. So the first scenario is a no. The second scenario where the financial frequencies are matched. Oh, sorry. It happens. I told you I'm 49. Okay, and I'm in my feminine energies at the moment. So this question that I got, right? What do I look for? So the number one is that he should love, adore, and cherish you. Okay, that's number one. He should feel like he won the lottery ticket by dating you, by having the chance of having you in his life. All right, that's the number one thing that you should look for. Second is finances, and that's what we're talking about here. Okay. And third, of course, is in terms of goals, values, match, and all those things. So if someone wants to know the cheat codes of the second aspect, okay, of money, the basics, okay, the basics is, like if you want like a cheat code, like this is the TikTok of this video, okay? But that's not what we are about. But if I were to make a TikTok of this video, the first thing is, does he adore you, cherish you? Does he feel like the luckiest guy to have you in his life? Number one. Number two, financially, can he afford your lifestyle? Okay. That's number 2A. Number 2B is your dream lifestyle. Can he build? Does he want that too? Can he build that with you? All right. Can he create that? Does he have what it takes to create that? Can you go there with you? Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3 is for another this thing. Okay. Can he afford your lifestyle? What do I mean by that? If you're the kind of chica who loves to go to a coffee shop 2 or 3 times a week, can he afford that? Can he go to the kind of restaurants that you go to? Can he afford to go to the places that is part of your lifestyle already? Can he, have fun with you the way you're used to having fun? In the worldly term, I'm talking about in the worldly terms, okay? These are all things that will show you that he can afford your lifestyle. And trust me, ladies, a good guy, a guy with the seed, okay, with the right seed, if he senses that he can't afford your lifestyle, he will take himself out of the game. He will not harm you. He will not lie to you. He will just ghost you if he doesn't have the communication skills, and that's okay. Okay? He just removes himself out of the game, and that's okay. That's what this kind of seeds do. Okay? They will not have what it takes in them to harm you. Financially in the future even. Okay, so yeah. I remember a guy telling me he knew he met this woman who is the woman he's been dreaming of. But he knew he didn't have the money for her lifestyle, and he ghosted her. Right? He carries that hurt and wound to this day, but that's the choice he made. And a good man does that. Okay? Yes, I said it. I told you I'm not going to be politically correct here. A bad seed, knowing that he can't afford you your lifestyle, might be like predatorially taking enjoying your lifestyle with you and predatoring your resources and money from you. Right? He will not care to want to provide that lifestyle for you. He will want to just siphon it from you, enjoy it for himself through you. So, yeah. Now let's get to the second category, right? You are roughly the same. There is a lifestyle match, for instance. All right, the financial maturity is similar, for instance, right? Financial health is similar. This one, how it would feel is, right? It can feel safe for you, right? It can feel very comfortable for you, very familiar for you at first, right? This is how this will show up. But there is a subtle trap with this, all right, that many women fall into. See, equality on paper does not always mean the right energetic symmetry. See, when both partners are, so what am I talking? I'm talking about the 50-50 relationships here, okay? See, when both partners are operating primarily in hard money, so you are, these 50-50 relationships where you are going to a job and whatnot, and you're hustling and you're bringing, let's say, 100 grand or something, all right? And this person is also doing the same. And to afford your lifestyle, you have to do it and he has to do it, okay? Basically, both hustling, both producing, and both on efforting mode. Like both are on your masculine energies, all right? Both partners are primarily, one minute. So this is where both partners are primarily in the hard money spectrum, okay, in the relationship. Both hustling, both producing, both in efforting mode. Sorry about that, ladies. My cleaning lady came and Bella loves her. So if you're hearing the vacuum sounds in the background, oopsie, if you're hearing the vacuum sounds in the background, my bad, my apologies. I don't know if you heard that without my earphones. I think you would have, because I think this is the speaker. Okay. So, yes, 50-50 relationships, the second category. Where he's not able to fully afford your lifestyle, the current lifestyle for you, but so you would have to work and bring money into the dating game, into the marriage and everything, okay? This is the thing that women don't talk about or not aware of, okay? The pitfalls in this category. See, in a partnership, okay, in like naturally, okay, not in terms of what each brings to the table. I'm talking the principle of masculine energies and the principle of feminine energies. So the principle of that feminine energy inside of you, right, that frequency naturally brings certain things to the table, okay, whether you like it or not, whether you don't consciously do it, okay, you don't use your wisdom or discernment or logic or anything, you naturally do it. You are naturally that. That's the natural frequencies of the feminine principle itself, the goddess frequency itself. You naturally do. And this, what are these things, right? Empathy, kindness, intuition, compassion, holding the emotional, like building emotional connections, right? That emotional, the heart-to-heart intimacy, right? All that is built through the feminine principle, okay? The spiritual bond, the pair bonding between in the partnership, okay? These are stuff that are not obvious. I'm talking, like they say, right? What do you call it? In an iceberg, yes. In an iceberg, there's only 5%, 5 to 10% is only invisible. 90% of it is not visible, is under the surface. So 90% of what the feminine principle itself does, very naturally, you cannot control it. Okay, if you're in your divine feminine frequencies, it's stuff that is part of this 90%. All right, I can't dive into all of these things. Go watch all of my videos and you will understand all of these things. We're talking about emotional co-regulation. We're talking about spiritual protection, spiritual provisions. We're talking about the magic that a woman can bring into a man's life. Okay. And by the way, these are energetic efforting. These are things that will take out of you. These are things that you alchemize, create, and give in the partnership unconsciously. Okay? Like just being there. Okay, so when some people say, unfortunately we live in a world that doesn't understand these things, go back, watch all of my videos and you will get what I'm talking about. Okay? So when you are naturally doing everything that you're coded by nature to do in a marriage, okay, like reading in between the lines, understanding stuff, understanding people, right? Communication, communicating the deeper things, and forging that pair bonding, the emotional connection with your partner, emotional regulation, right? When your husband, like in a marriage, right? When you're in your divine feminine frequencies, you regulate your man. Take it from me, ladies. All right? It is emotional work. It's emotional baggage. Right? There's also a spiritual baggage that you carry, which is like super magical for your man, that just lifts him off and takes him into a different realm in the world, be it finances, with your work, with his business, with his respect, with his status and everything in the community. You are that foundation for him, right? You are that earth, that ripe earth with all of its nutrients that nobody can see, that nobody is aware of. It'll just look like flat ground, but you are that earth with all of that water, nutrients and everything that seed needs to become the tree and bear the fruits that your man will in marriage. Okay, but the world sees the trunk, the leaves, the branches, the fruits, the flowers, and all the birds that sit on it. But the world that we live in today doesn't understand the value of something of feminine energy. Okay, but you give that water, you are that water, you give that nutrients, you are that nutrients. All right, and that takes energy from you. And this is something that you naturally do. Okay? And if you do the work that I talk about in this channel, all right, in all of my videos, your nutrient content is like up there. Okay? So this is efforting. This is spiritual efforting. This is emotional efforting. All right? This is unconscious efforting. So, and which you naturally will do. And it takes energy from you. Okay? Sensual efforting. Sexual efforting. All of these things. And which you naturally do. And on top of that, you're doing this 50-50 thing. Okay? So in this second category, if you're dating somebody like this or you're choosing somebody like this is something women don't understand or not aware of. The feminine will often, in the long run, end up carrying, like doing double duty, as we call it in my culture. All right? You will be doing double duty. You will also do the natural duties of the feminine principle itself, and you will be doing the masculine principle duties for that man and for that relationship. So it will feel like double duty for your nervous system in your field. I hope that landed, girls. So that is why I say the minimum, even if you come from trauma and if you don't have proper structure and strong systems to support you through this process, the minimum that you have to look for is the man being able to afford the lifestyle that you already enjoy right now as a single girl. Or the man being able to, if you're young, the man being able to afford the lifestyle that your father and mother have provided for you. Otherwise, you will feel like you're doing double duty end of the day. See, women who choose into soft life, women who choose to be in their feminine essence, they don't want to be, I don't want to do double duty in my marriage. All right? I want to be in my feminine role and be adored, provided for, cherished, protected by my husband. And my own masculine energy, I will use for myself. Me creating with this video is all part of that game, right? So that's the game we want to play. And if that's what you want to play, listen up, darling. This 50-50 ideology is not going to work for you. The basic, even if you have a lot of trauma in you, is can he afford the lifestyle that you enjoy right now? 100%. Can he afford it? Can he provide that for you? Okay? Or else it's double duty, darling. It's double duty. So the first category is 100% duty. The second category is double duty. So somebody like this, right? The dynamic, 1 minute. The dynamic. Hello?
Hello.
So somebody like this, right? The second category. Even if she wants to soften and to receive, to exhale, to relax, to just be carried by a strong masculine principle, that this dynamic, the second category, right, will not naturally create that space for you, darling. Right? Polarity cannot naturally flow. Like, and even though it is there during moments, it'll flatten. It'll just flatten. In like intimacy, right? This primal intimacy can almost become like a friendship. Does that make sense? It might become like friendship over time, like companionship, like roommates. It's equal. Provisionship is equal. So it becomes like, I pay for my room, you pay for your room, I pay half the electricity, you pay half the electricity, la-di-da-di-da. So the polarity, the primal attraction, right, just flattens out. There might be like a camaraderie, there might be like a beautiful friendship. Yes, sorry, ladies. Okay, so far what were we talking about? We're talking about the three categories. We're talking about the first category. As a single lady, you might see men where you provide more financially to him than he does. Okay, and in my channel, that's a strict no. So we spoke about that. Now we're talking about this tricky category where you're equally yoked, where both of you are providing equally financially into the partnership during dating, and that will continue into marriage. So we're talking about the 50-50 relationships, right? So here, basically what I want to share, the crux of it is the polarity can flatten, all right? The friendship, the camaraderie, the care for each other might remain, but that heat, all right, the polarity, the I gotta rip your clothes off, right? I want to surrender to you. I just can't help myself. I just soften to you and just take me, right? That attraction, that heat will just flatten out. Bella. So the heat, right, would flatten out. And ladies, in a long-term marriage, I'm talking about 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, all right, marriage, these things are so important, okay, because the honeymoon phase would last you, they say generally 6 months, in really good cases, 3 years, couple of years. Okay, and after that, what is going to keep that heat where the man, your man, your husband just wants to like ravish you in bed and just keeps chasing you? All right, what keeps the polarity alive, right? What keeps the energetic, what I call it as energetic symmetry, all right, the right beautiful dance? What keeps that alive is stuff like this. So don't let the world dupe you into like propaganda you with lies, darling. Okay, so in the equal partnership where the woman brings 50% of the financial provision and the man brings 50% of the financial provision, and it's roommatism, it's camaraderie, it's friendship, there's not going to be that heat and passion. Okay, this is something that women are not taught. So see, it's again, FYI, we're not talking about who has more assets, who makes more money. No, we're talking about who provides more in the partnership. Who is the masculine provider? Not who holds the most assets, who has the soft money, who makes the most active money. No. Okay? So, if that doesn't make sense, stay with me. So over the years in this second category, right, many women in this equal dynamics will quietly start to feel exhausted because they're doing double duty. They're doing both the feminine energy, natural provisions, protections, and also doing the overt masculine energy, 50% providing in the relationship from their part. Okay, this is why a lot of Western women are choosing to not marry nowadays. Okay, because who wants to do double duty, right? It's hard. You will start feeling exhausted. You will start feeling unseen in the relationship. Like your real core feminine principle, right? That feminine longing will be unseen. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Your feminine energy will start feeling exhausted, right? Unseen. And resentment in this 50-50 sort of relationship, all right? Resentment starts building over time. Initially, it might be all fun and frolic, friendship. So, friendship is always fun. But I'm talking a long marriage here. Resentment starts building up because that provision isn't flowing predominantly from him. So, my beauty, okay? Listen up. Auntie Alejandra is talking here. So even in this equal scenario, that the question remains, right? Is he willing and able to step up into a stronger provider role over time? This is the question you have to ask yourself repeatedly until the answer is yes, if you want to live a soft life and if you want to remain in your feminine essence and if you want to keep the polarity alive. Maybe he can't do it now, maybe it's a phase, but can he do it over time? Is he inspired to do it? Is he determined to do it? Is that his agenda and primary goal to do it? Okay? So that's why I say this is tricky. But, or is it going to be like, so is he going to step up, all right, into that kingship role, into that emperorship role? Is that his natural drive to do it? And you will find signs for it, all right? Is he going to, like, is he showing actions? Do you sense it, all right, in his entire being? Is he going to step up to that? Or is this 50-50 going to be the default? That both of you are just going to keep grinding side by side for the rest of your life? You got to find the answer to that question for yourself, darling. And no, this is also not for you in my channel. So hit the like and subscribe button if you understand if you want to understand and if you want to learn these things and you want to know how to position yourself in the third category. All right, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, beauties. So to position yourself in the feminine coded energetics of money in your relationship is what this world is about. Okay, so stay with me. We're going to get into the juicy topic here. Okay, the third category. This channel is not about the first category or the second category. This channel is about positioning yourself in the third category for your future marriage. Okay, so this is, what is this category, right? This is this, again, please watch part 1 and part 2. Okay, this is not about who has more feminine coded money, who's making more feminine coded money, like who has the more assets or passive income or all those kind of things. Okay, that's not what this is about. This is going to be nuanced. Okay, these are situations. I don't think there are many videos or content out there that talks this stuff. Ladies, hit like, subscribe, share this video. Messages like this needs to get out there. I think I got to make more videos on this. I'm inspired to make more money videos. Let me know in the comments. Like, just put money bags there. All right, drop some money bags if you want more content like this. Okay, I think there's a lot of content. No shame, no blame. It's great, you know, especially for women who come from a lot of trauma around money and betrayal around money and not trusting the masculine with money and all of those things. There are a lot of gold digging channels, right? So sometimes when the pendulum is, you know, on this side, like at this extreme, the pendulum needs to experience something like this gold digger channels to somewhere come from that and be here in its stasis. Okay, so I don't judge all those channels, but that's not what we are about here. Okay, we are talking about the feminine energy being adored, cherished, and provided for We're talking about divine love here. We're talking about divine connection here. We're not talking about two entities using each other here. Okay, we're talking about two entities coming together for the good of each other. There is a difference. It's not to siphon from each other, but it's that energetic symmetry of being good for each other. That's what this channel is about. Okay, that's where I come from when I talk feminine energy. Feminine energy takes money and all of those beautiful things. So third category, this is what this channel is about. This is what my world is about. And if you want to leverage yourself and position yourself to stay here, this work is coded with this frequency. Okay, I live in this frequency. So this is where the husband, the masculine, right? He provides the money more than you. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to dive. Okay, what is that? How is that? Like you, like my marriage, for instance, right? Like I have more feminine energy, like more passive income than my husband. I have more assets than my husband. Okay, all that is in my name. Okay, so the assets are in my name. The more feminine energy coded income, the passive income, I receive more of it. Okay, so I mean, if you were to like on paper, I make more money than my husband. However, but see, please go watch part 1 and part 2 of this video of this series, all right? Otherwise, this is going to be like mumbo jumbo. I make more of the passive income. My husband makes more of the active income. Does that make sense? So I've made sure that my husband is in that polarity of earning effort for money, the masculine money mostly, and I've positioned myself mostly on the feminine scale of the money energetic spectrum. If this is mumbo jumbo, go watch part 1, part 2. Okay, so that is quintessentially my marriage. It need not be yours. Okay, but this is what this is what you need. This is the dance you need to be in if you want a soft life, and if you want to stay in your feminine essence, and you want that hot, passionate intimacy that lasts a lifetime. Okay, so we're talking stuff that is beyond logic, right? We're talking like polarity. This is energetic. This is nature. All right, this is the masculine wanting to forever chase the feminine. It's the masculine wanting to forever adore, cherish, like crave the feminine. Okay, this is the game you got to play then. This is the game we play in my world. So I've written some notes here. So you might be making more. So it probably falls under the umbrella of his money is my money is my money category. Okay. So that's pretty much this category. So he is in the active masculine energetics of money in the marriage, okay, and he provides that. His money is for you. His money is for the marriage, okay. His money is, he shows that to you. He demonstrates that to you in the dating stage. So how would that feel for you? You financially you feel safe, secure, all right. You feel relaxed. There's no like nervousness and like confusion around money while you're dating. Okay, he takes the bills, gifts come to you, expensive trips and whatnot are offered to you, which is paid for by him clearly, right? And all of those things. So see, there's no question about it. You will know when you know. Okay, so he will show that during the dating phase. So what have I written here? Yeah, this is what this world is about. This is what this channel is about. So if you want to position, you want to learn about this, stay here, be part of my world. Okay, so even if you have your own money like I do, and I have even while I was single, his money is your money and your money is your choice. Like in my marriage, right? My husband knows all the passive income I make. My husband knows all the assets that's in my name, and this, he wants his businesses, new businesses. He wants it all in my name. All right. So that's what a divine masculine energy man naturally wants, right? So However, though I'm the one making all the passive income and all the assets are in my name, when we go out or something, or all the expenses of this house, he pays. All the bills are paid by him, right? So all my money, all my assets are my choice. I might choose, if it's my true authentic choice, I might choose to buy him a gift. It's my choice. All right, I might choose to do something, right? It's like in my feminine flow, if I choose to do something grandiose with my money, I do it. But mostly, because I like to be in this polarity, I'm conscious about it. And especially I come from a certain trauma around all these things. I make sure that I downplay all of that with my husband, okay? But it's the feminine's choice. Her money is her money, so she can choose what she does with it. So the fundamental principle there is your choice. It is not expected, wanted, or needed by the man. Okay? How would you see that during the dating stage? Or like if you're gonna like bring your wallet out or do something, like it makes him feel, or buy him a gift or like something, it makes him feel like super awkward. He will shut down, or like it's so weird. It's like not something he can receive easily. The higher quality seeded men, they just can't. It feels like they will probably feel like it's like chopping their balls off or making them weak, or it's like doing something. It just feels like fundamentally wrong for them. Okay, and you will see that. Like, oh my God, in my marriage, right? Like the dating stage, and we were getting engaged. Yeah, engaged, and of course, in my tradition, like the girl's side, we get a ring for the boy, and of course, the boy puts a ring on the girl to formalize things. We don't have like an engagement, though that also happened in my situation. My husband, because we're quite westernized, like in our world, we're quite westernized. But traditionally, we don't have like a pop the ring kind of a thing. But my husband did that too. Right? He took all my friends out one day, and he got a beautiful diamond ring, and he popped the question. But the traditional way, which we also did, was a girl's side getting a ring for the boys' side, the boys exchanging rings formally with their families, mothers, parents, with their family. It's like a gift exchange, and 2 rings are involved in it because I'm Christian Indian. So that's something that happens in my family system. So in that system, my mother wanted to get him. So it wasn't even me gifting him a ring, all right? It was my mother gifting him a ring. And my husband, and I wanted it to be of his choice, right? The design, the style. I wanted him to like it. So we went for jewelry shopping, right? And I'll always remember this. And I was like, hey, these, you choose. Like, you're going to wear it. So you choose. My mother's paying. So you choose, sir. And he just froze up. He shut down. And it was like, it was he made it such an unpleasant experience. And it's traditionally done in my culture. And this man is not even able to receive that. That's the level of his masculine energies. And I was like, because I've studied this, I was like, duh, yeah, right. But, though I was complaining about it outside, oh my God, but inside, my soul, my heart just felt at peace. I was felt at peace. Around money, finances, and this man I was choosing to marry. And I felt safe with him, right? So this is what that high quality seeded men, you will see these kind of, not the same, all right? No 2 situations, circumstances, no 2 people are the same, okay? But having said that, you will see stuff like this while you're dating. Right? They would just, even if they've lost, their phone and their wallet, and you're now out on a date, and there's no chance, and you had to pay for this thing, he will overcompensate and pay you back that money and make things so weird, or overcompensate later on, and he just feels super awkward about it. He will not be able to receive it and glow about it, all right? So if you're dating a guy and you're like providing and he's just so easily and so comfortably like receiving it and he's glowing about it and he's like he's proudly talking about it to his friends, that guy might be in his feminine energies. Okay, because this is what girls do. We just gloat about with so much pride about what the masculine provides for us, buys for us, gifts us, provides for us. Okay, that's what feminine energy does. It's like amazing validation for us. So on the dating stage, if a guy is doing that, like chica, he is in the feminine energies and he's positioning himself in the feminine energy, and which automatically means you're in your masculine. Okay, so. Like I said, this is not about who owns most of the assets. It's not about who makes most of the income. Okay, go back to part 1, part 2, understand feminine coded income, understand masculine coded income, passive income, active income. All right. In my world, what I would say is, while you're dating and while you're in your marriage, when you're married, you've got to be in the situation where his money is your money, the relationship's money, the marriage's money. Okay? And your money is your choice. Okay? It could be yours, it could be the relationship, it could do something for the man, you could do whatever. Okay? It's your choice. So that is the right, the polarity based symmetry with finances between a man and a woman. Okay, and you got to make sure, use your discernment, use your wisdom to see during the dating stage if something like that would happen, and the guy will show it to you, the guy will reveal it to you. You don't have to like interview him and are you a provider and like, you know, the true colors will just come out. Okay, when you're dating, learn to listen. All right, go with the flow, listen. Don't get in your mind and start interviewing the guy and all. Right, like while you're dating, learn to stay in your feminine energies, in your heart, in your body, in your feminine flow. And when the conversation reaches, and it does, all right, an interaction between a man and a woman who are intentionally dating for marriage, these moments come up, and naturally during those moments, let the conversation flow and see if he's and observe, right, if he's avoiding it, is he restless about it, is there some struggle and survival mode that you're sensing around all of these things. If it's that way, then the guy is in this stage of his life. All right, if you feel safe, if you feel secure, if you feel held, if you feel nourished, nurtured, protected, provided for financially, right? You can just relax when it comes to money matters while you're dating this guy. Then you know he comes from this category, right? So what else? Let me know in the comments if you have any questions you'd like me to answer on this topic. I would love to. So this is part 3 of Money Energetics, all right? Part 1, it's all in the playlist called Money, Money, Money. Go binge watch it, all right? Very important. And this is part 3 of that series. This is where it ends. And this is where I've shared all of these money energetics, how it plays in real life situations, right? And I've kept it specifically for single women. But if you're a married chica tuning in, let me know in the comments. You would love to know how the energetics of money, how it plays in a marriage situation, marriage circumstance. I think I sort of gave you an idea in this video as well, right? So ultimately, the whole umbrella, right, if we're going to be very superficial about it, the whole ideology of his money is my money is my money concept, right? That ideology is where it plays out. In my world, that is what I want for you. That is the kind of life I live, right? I'm not in this world of the girls not having their money. Okay, no. Okay, we live in an Aquarian area, which means individual sovereignty, which means a woman. So that's why I say it's important to go watch my part 1, part 2. It's important for a girl to understand finances, understand the frequency and energetics of money, learn be able to make her own money, invest it, grow it. So know about passive income, positioning herself to be in that situation. So, see, this is another idea that's coming through, that's channeling through me right now. So listen up, ladies, okay? I'm glad it's coming towards the very end, because see, the channels, like if you've stayed towards the very end, now the real stuff is coming up. I'm glad. So it's for the real chicas out there who are really listening to me, who are really locked in, right? So I want you to start thinking of, while you're dating, right? You should be dating many men. I'm not saying sleeping with many men. You must be dating many men, okay? Because this is nature. This is how nature happens. So, okay, I lost it there for a minute. I should dive in directly when it comes to, that, I got it back. Okay, so while you're single and you're dating, ladies, okay, see if this guy would be a leverage for you in your financial growth. Okay, he should be an asset. An asset is a leverage. Leverage. What is a leverage? Leverage is a mechanism which makes things easier. An analogy, imagine a big rock that you need to move. Okay, now you can use your entire strength and both your arms and all your physical energy and use all your muscles to push that rock. That is one way of doing it, all right, which is the first category, all right. Or there's another way of doing it where two people can join and use two muscles to push the rock. That's the second category that we spoke about, okay, the 50-50 partnerships. Or the third category is when you use a lever to push the huge boulder, which is like placing like a stick and a small rock, and you just use a little bit of your effort to push the stick downwards, right? Sit on it. You don't even need to just use gravity and your natural body weight. Just sit on it, and this lever will make the whole action easier to move this boulder, right? So when you're a single lady, darling, beauty, listen in, channeled information. See this man, this entity that you're dating. See if he will be a leverage for your financial stability, financial safety, financial security for you and your children, future children. See if this guy has that vibration. Is he going to be a leverage for you that you can position yourself with for your and your future children's financial security, safety, growth? Or are you going to push the boulder all on your own? Not in my world, not in this channel. Or are you going to work together with the man and push the boulder together? Not in this channel as well. See if your man's going to be the leverage. Make this boulder lighter for you. Okay? Do you have to have that boulder in your life? Yes, we live in an Aquarian era of sovereignty. There is a boulder called the financial boulder in your life. Now, the way you handle it, the game is different. All right? And this channel, we talk about the third category where you see the man that you're dating. Can he be a lever, or is he going to make the load more difficult? Okay? And if you're married, the only question you have to ask yourself is my husband's money my money? Is my money my choice? Does my husband position himself in a way where it's clearly known, verbally clearly set, boundaries drawn in such a way, and he does it, that where it's clearly said, known, that's how the marriage operates, where like your money is your choice, you choose what you do with it. I'm not going to plan, I'm not going to decide, I'm not going to choose where that goes or doesn't go. You can blow it up if you want, you can travel with it if you want, if you can build businesses with it, which is what I would recommend. Okay, you can burn it if you want, but your money is your money, babe. Okay, and my money I will provide for you, for our children, and for this unit, this marriage, and stuff like that. All right, so that is how that marriage container would be when it comes to finances. What else comes to me? What else comes to me? And yes, for the wife, when you become a wife, all right, after some years where you inside your soul and in your heart, you feel completely 100% safe and secure with this man, you can choose to provide for him something financially, okay? And life can be tricky too, right? Like there's nothing called perfection here in my world. We're talking about majority of the time. So there might be minority of the time when maybe your husband's, he loses his job, the economy changes, and I'm talking marriage here, ladies, okay? Economy changes, there's some issues beyond his control, and right, or something happens, all right? Life is about ups and downs. Suppose financially your husband is going through a down. In those times, you can choose to lean in and provide for him, provided you're married, you're legally married, okay, and it's after a few years and you feel safe and secure, whatever, but know that there's going to be consequences. There might be resentment building up if it's not handled and balanced the right way. But from your side, I'm not going to be the kind of woman in my channel who says don't lean into your masculine and don't provide for your man when he's down and out and he's been a good man in your life while you were dating him during the marriage. All right? No. Okay, if he's been a stand-up guy in your life, ladies, when he is down, your masculine energies need to step in, step up, and provide and protect him for the time being, just for a short period of time. Because these quality of men, they will pick themselves up more and run faster, and they will do everything, hustle, they will die, they will kill themselves to make sure they get out of that situation of you like doing, like going 50-50 or like putting some money on the table, you know. So make sure from your side it's temporary, okay? A good man will make sure it's temporary. So yeah, what else comes? What else? Let me know in the comments, all right, if you want content like this, where we talk about money, the feminine energetics of money, and how as women, be it single or married, how do we leverage ourselves and position ourselves in such a way that, you know, we can live in a soft life, we can be in our feminine energies and thrive. Okay, I think that's it. Let me know in the comments if it landed. Put a fire emoji if it landed. Ask me questions. With this, we end our 3-part series that I promised. You know, like, I know I've promised a lot of things, okay? Like, I'm going to come up with courses, and I've written a book. That's something that I will talk about later when the time is right, that you can go and purchase. But, yeah. But however, how the divine is taking me through my life right now is I don't want to, like, I don't feel like commercializing this, right, with products and merchandise or whatever, which I might later on, but right now that's not how things are like panning out. That's not what I feel from my core, because like I mentioned, right, I run a commercial real estate business with my husband. I take care of our finances. I'm into stocks, I'm into crypto, and I trade a bit. So all of these things, and I have a bunch of passive income that comes to me that needs to be managed. So a lot of things I do out of my own passions and interests, my creative flow, like in my masculine energy. And so that's where most of my masculine energies are going at the moment. And though this sort of started off with a core intention, of course, of being of service to the feminine collective always, but when I started off, a lot of my masculine energy had entered this space, this channel, and I wanted to put out a lot of, you know, courses and all that stuff. But that's not how it's playing out. So I'm going with the flow. So I will be hopping on here when I feel that, you know, inspiration, when I'm guided to, when I'm channeling and I want to come and talk about some topic. And that's when I will hop on here and do this, okay? So that's how it's going to be, this channel. And I don't want to make this part of my masculine energy, go more, I got to do this, I got to, you know, no, I just want to keep this channel fluid, free, very feminine, very spiritual, and creating from that space. So those of you who've been following me from day one, if you're thinking when is the course dropping, when is the merchandise is coming, they might not, but one is coming for sure, which I'll talk about. So that's something that I wanted to draw. Yeah, I would love to get to know you, ladies. Comment, like, share, subscribe. We are still a baby channel, and I truly believe that messages like this needs to be spread. Women need to come to know about it. So keep sharing. I know you are. My YouTube algorithm shows it to me. So I love those of you who share this. Keep sharing. And let me know if you have any particular questions. I am drawn to making, right now, honestly, I feel very drawn to making more money type of feminine energetics, money type of videos in my channel. So I'm quite drawn to it. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's like positioning yourself with the masculine principle with money, all right? Stuff like that, whether you're single or married. So topics like, part 1, part 2, part 3 of this series, that's part of what I'm talking about, the feminine energetics of money. We will talk about manifestations, right? The energetics of manifesting finances into your life, the mindset shifts, right? The way you perceive money, the way you visualizing, right? Like I'm talking about, the whole manifestation, the mindset, right? The energetic work that you do from your feminine spiritual side to manifest this thing called money into your life. So mindset work, basically, right? So towards manifesting more. So this is what I talk about. This is how I will position when we talk about money in this channel. Not specifics about stocks and shares, which stock to buy, how to trade. No, not specific. That's the masculine side of it, right? The feminine side of it, the magic money, as I call it. So that is something that I feel very drawn to talking about more and teaching more of in this channel. Let me know in the comment section if that floats your boat. Of course, we will talk about the regular relationship stuff, right? Dating, mating, marriage, and relationship stuff with the whole dance between the masculine and feminine principle itself. So that's not going to go, don't worry. That's the core of this channel. But yes, we will also be stepping into money and the feminine energy. So those aspects is something that I feel drawn to talking about. I will also be getting into proper spirituality in this channel, right? The previous video that I made is like so if you're like very spiritually oriented and you're into esoterics, if you're into occult, you have occultish interests, right? I would strongly suggest you go and watch just the previous video. It was one of my first videos that I made on a purely spiritual topic that would completely change. When this is how I view my life today, and when I came across this concept for the first time, my entire world view, my entire perspective of world changed and shifted, and it has revolutionized my life. So that's one spiritual concept, deeply esoteric concept that I spoke about in my previous video. And all my spiritual topics videos will be under the playlist called Spirituality. All right, you can binge watch it. For now, I've just put one video out there. So if you're into spirituality, esotericism, and occultism, just go and watch that. That's beautiful. The whole law of attraction, manifestation, if that's your game, go watch that video, darling. And I have another playlist called Money, 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 where all these channeled information and wisdoms will be dropped into that. So you can binge watch that. And of course, we have relationship topics. We have question and answers. There's also a playlist where I discuss other people's relationships, these famous celebrities. Generally, I don't like to judge people on their relationship because relationships are super nuanced, and there are soul ties, there are shadows at play, and there's nothing called perfection when it comes to relationships. And if anybody out there, any coach, guru comes up and says that their relationship is perfect 100% of the time, they are lying. Okay, this world is the law of rhythm. This world is about polarity. There's a high, there's a low. But only listen to coaches, learn from people, learn from women who are in marriages that are not, there's no marriage called perfect marriage, but majority of the time, their marriage is successful, peaceful, happy, healthy, thriving, and robust. Okay, hot, sexy most of the time. And there will be dips in their marriage. If somebody's going to come and say like, oh, 100% of the time I'm the perfect wife and my husband's the perfect husband, we have the perfect marriage, bullshit. Okay, everybody has their highs and the lows, but then learn from people who are successful. Like 90%, majority of the time, their marriage is in the high. All right. So, of course, we talk about relationships. Okay, in this channel, So I talk about other people's relationships. So let me know in the comments if there is some celebrity that you would, and their marriage or their dating life you want me to dive deeper into. That is something that I will research and share my opinions and thoughts on it. I've dived deeper into P. Diddy and Cassie's relationship. It's under the list called, go into my playlist. It's quite self-explanatory. So that's something we do on this channel. I also take question and answers. So if some question, like in my real life, somebody asks me a question, I've had some of you beauties asking me questions on my channel, sending me personal notes and on my comment section. So those I make full videos on if I'm called to, and I receive some messages and ideas and concepts around some answers to those questions. I come up here and post videos on them. So those are under Q&A. So feel free to ask me questions. Drop in a line. Even you just have to say hi. Just drop in a heart if you just want to share some love. Show me some love, ladies. All right. I love you all. I hope you found this of value. And I'll end it always the way I end it. And I truly mean it. I hope you're living your best lives. Even if you're not, it's okay. All right, hang in there. If you're drawn to my energy, if you like my vibe, I know. All right, you can change this around. And from the bottom of my heart, I want you to go live your best lives. Love you all. Bye.